Okay. See if we can get this thing to work now. Hey, 1, 2. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Let me get this email. All right. Whenever you get on there, just tell me, and in that way I can kind of run you through this thing real quick. Just take 2 seconds. Let's see what we got here. Get a couple play options. Well, we'll get that going. Hey, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Let me get back over here to Grand Central here. Okay. All right. In my media pool. Okay. I got a hot piano. I hear you. Okay. All right. Okay. A phone 2 or 3 seconds behind computer. Huh. Interesting. Okay, man. I'm just going to give you the quick rundown here. Okay. So this thing has got, I've got 2 graphic bins here that can be also bugs. That could be a transparent background that could just be a bug over it. So I've got it set up. So say you had a, well, let me just go through the cameras. I got that in camera 2, which is the laptop, graphics laptop. Camera 3, I've got this, that's the cheapest camera I've got, camera 3. It's just a simple HDMI small camera that I was actually going to put on my computer monitor to monitor that. There's the drums in the back. I got studio corner right, studio corner left, and then the singer on the vocal mic, and then the room. So for your club scenario, it's pretty much the same. It'd be the same thing. We could take like this camera and put it on the crowd clapping in between songs, so you'd always have something there. As far as audio goes, like let me go over here to this computer thing real quick. So if I play this video, it just it actually does fairly well, except for I don't have the audio turned on. So you gotta manage it. So that's audio's managed within the program, but you could mix it outside of the program if you wanted to. You can turn it up and down within the program. Anyway, there's that. And then so say I go over here to the console. So we've got multiple audio ends, so to where that say I wanted to play say you wanted to have multiple audio sources for whatever purpose there is. This is one that this is out of iTunes, and then this is out of Pro Tools. The blues, they named it's Tony Coleman's record.
what's so special about this joint? It ain't nothing.
Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Now, I haven't completely divulged into the all of the available usages with things, but I know that there's, you know, it's got fades and all these things you can do in here, and it does have a wipe that if you go over and put it on this and put a border on it, that you can, you know, you could possibly get away with some split screen type scenarios where you got the drums and the keyboards there, or you know, whoever, whatever, split between the rooms, or you know, somebody singing in there. You'd have to place the cameras right, but you know, you could get these different angles and have some split screen options, and the width of the centerpiece can be blurry or wider or shorter or whatever. So there is that, which, you know, most of the time you're just going to do a direct cut, you know. So, but it does have a dip to black. Like, say you wanted to do a dip to black, and you can control the amount of black. There's a fade to black to where at any moment you could fade to black that way. So as far as fades, there's like a mix, which has got a bunch of standard stuff, nothing too fancy. There's a dip to black, and then just the side wipe scenario that you could possibly manually just bring this over and do a couple little split screens if you worked it out ahead of time, just for the, you know, I like to do that in here because then you can see both rooms, you know. But it's got color bars and you know, different, all kind of stuff to it. So that's pretty much it, man. I've got 8 inputs going here. Let me just show this thing back over here. Let me just bring this camera back in. How's it look?
It looks great.
Man, you know what? That figures. I tested it with 2 people before I called you because I thought I'm gonna make sure this son of a bitch is working. You get on here and it don't fucking work, man. That's
Well, you know, when you pause the phone and then you start again, it just picks it up wherever you stop. So.
Well, you know what was weird though is I went to my stream and the screen was black, and then I tried to do it again and it didn't recognize the damn black magic, and so I just restarted. It worked perfect. But that's just the way it goes. You know what I mean? It's not a foolproof thing. But
it looks great though. Boy, your place looks great.
Thank you, man. I've been.
You got enough guitars hanging over there.
Well, there's a couple. I got a couple put up. You know. But you know what I'm doing, Marvin? I'm getting all this video stuff going so I can figure out how to get back to the music.
Well, you know, that split screen is great because, you know, if you had an MC in a place like this, you could always
Absolutely. I mean, you know, it's you'd have to navigate the cameras, you know what I mean, and have a cameraman probably on at least one of them, because, you know, you can randomly pick through these cameras because there's so many of them and get a couple split screens that work without having to actually man it. But look at this, man. Look at this camera. This is like a that's $100 little 1080 little 1080 HDMI camera, and that's on that keyboard, and I don't know that you really notice a difference. I mean,
probably not. Well, in your thing, with all the different rooms and all the different colors, no, you wouldn't notice the difference.
Well, I bought that.
Single show with 3 cameras shooting the same stage, you'd have
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have to be the same look.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. If you got into a broadcast scenario, it's nice to have a camera like mounted up there above everybody, pointed out on the crowd where you could get applause and shit.
Yeah.
Or something. You know what I mean? Like an always go to.
Well, that could be one of those inexpensive cameras.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I bought it, because I bought it really to have it shining on the Pro Tools.
Right.
And on the screen. So, it's a kind of a cool thing to look at sometimes, especially if you got a tracking session going on.
Well, yeah, the thing is, you'd have to set up your camera, say, ahead of time, and then I guess go in each camera individually and color match them,
Yeah. Well, it's got.
Just like you say.
I mean, just to look at this thing, man, it's pretty damn impressive, man.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, it's, and having the two laptops makes it to where that you can put it this way. The client could bring his own laptop with his own, whatever on it and plug it in. Like, say, I can see it would be good for a show that was like, it's kind of a variety show where you got all kind of shit coming in and out.
Right. Now, what camera do you have set up on the screen itself? I mean, can you see what I'm seeing here?
Yeah. Now that's a 200 with a wide angle lens on it. Does it look good?
Yeah, it looks good.
Well, I mean that's one of the older. That's the one that's not SDI. But see, here's the thing, Marvin, is that let me just switch. Like this is the cheapest one, camera 3. Camera 4, that is that's that camera I put at Sleepy LeBeast's feet, that Sony. And it's not a pro camera, but for the drums, it looks okay.
Yeah, it looks great.
And then this one is that's that's got a wide angle lens on the 170. And then this one is that's an old one. That's the 200. And then this one's a 170 on the Talent, on the microphone.
That's a pretty big screen you've got there in front of you. What size is that?
Man, I don't know. I got me some new TVs upstairs and I brought them all down here. Look, I'll show you my back area here. I mean, once you start using these TVs, I got the iMac and another TV there that I plug my laptop into. Then I edit that TV show stuff back here. Stuff's kind of jumped up around here, but I'm going to take care of that baby. But,
Well, you're well ensconced here, I'll say that.
Say that again?
You are well ensconced.
Yeah. Well,
Shit everywhere.
man, you know what? It's being here and taking care of that baby has enabled me to focus in and to stay home all the time and not be out chasing women and shit and working on my video rig. And here's another thing that I got is that I bought 2 of every color. And so I've got 50 footers of that. I've got all these HD SDI cords. I've got more of the little dongles for like you put 3 HDMIs in there for a monitor. And I just got every cord that you could ever possibly need times 3 probably. And it's because, man, sometimes, man, Man, it's so easy to jerk the end out of one of these damn cords and shit. I just realized that, you know, if I was going to get into this thing, I needed to be able to unplug that rig out of the hallway, close that case up, and go.
Well, you're all set to just broadcast all your sessions out there.
Well, I'm headed that way, man. I mean, I'm
I don't know how you make money on it. You charge people for it or something, I guess.
Well, here's another one. Check this one out. You see this?
Here's another one. Check this one out. You see this? Yeah.
That's an Aja Key Pro quad with the solid state drive up there for I mean, this whole thing was like nearly $3,000.
What does it do?
It's a master deck. You see the picture in there? It's, you know, in the end, when you get done with doing all this stuff, you gotta have it with great audio, you know. And so it's
where your line cut goes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the way it's set up, I'm not really capable of doing this right now, but it's set up to where you could put 4 SDIs into this thing.
Okay.
To where that if you had a way to split them off, or I think I can come back out of the switcher with a couple of them, but you could record your program and then have like 1 or 2 auxiliary cameras that went there in case you needed to do a B-roll with it.
I got you.
Or it's made also to put on the back of those red cameras where you have 4 SDI cords to get the high-end raw 4K.
Right.
So it'll do that too. Well, you got to have it if you're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? What's the sense in recording this shit if you can't edit it? You know?
Yeah.
Damn. You got to capture it, and it's like they make some cheaper models, you know, of stuff. But man, I thought, you know what? Someday I'm gonna get me a 4K camera, and having a deck that you could go out, you know, and remotely, you know, capture stuff would be the right thing to have.
Well, how much will it hold?
Well, it's a 500 gig card,
I got you.
so it's 500 minutes.
Yeah, boy, that eats up in a hurry, though. I'll tell you. You just swap cards out in it. What kind of card?
Well, 5 hours is, I mean, that's, you know, 500 minutes is like what, 6?
I don't know, in 4K.
No, in 4K, yes, it would get eaten up, but in 1080, you know, that's 8 hours of recording in you know, regular.
Yeah. It's a card, so you swap the card out.
Yeah, and it's got two holes. So,
What kind of card?
man, it's an Aja. It's like this.
Okay.
That card was down there $500.
I got you.
But man, you know what? While I had the money, I thought, you know what? I'm getting toward getting a big push going, and shit don't work. I'm about ready to go to the beach, man. Just say fuck it.
That's a lot to invest in one little piece of gear, though, isn't it?
It is, but you know the thing is that man, they're still selling for that, and it's like I don't know. I think I got it cheaper than $3,000, but I think it was like $2,000. But you know, man, I have got I don't know how many of these boxes and all this wiring and all this shit. That shit cost a fortune. I mean, there's at least $1,000 probably worth of, you know, cabling and miscellaneous, these converter boxes and shit, you know. So, you know, man, do you think this guy's serious about doing the thing at the club?
I hope so. I mean, they're out there getting all their patents and licenses and all that kind of stuff.
Well, man, I'm thinking that
He
if
hadn't invested all his time and money at this point just to not do anything.
yeah.
But who knows?
Well, man, you could almost wire that place
Oh yeah.
and just get it all wired to where it's just like drop the damn cameras down and go.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also record in the camera as well for a backup if you needed it.
Well, depending on what they want to do, I mean, it's like John Barry. They came in here for a week and just shot one show at a night. You can't cut the shows one in an evening.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, you can do it that way. I don't know if they want to be live all the time.
Well, but the thing is that part of the reason that I got rid of that other switcher is to,